You just can't say no. And I'll tell you bottom line why that is. This is not an intellectual problem. It's not a problem of education or pouring more money into the system, of trying to get you to be able to just say no or just do it. It's a heart problem. This is what the scriptures talk about the heart being incurable. To use another word, it's a spiritual problem. Let me see if I can use this as an illustration. Try to imagine over here on the right, you've got a box, just a box. And we'll call that box human wisdom, human knowledge, intellect, technology, whatever you want to call it. And every year we pour more information into that box, and that box gets bigger and bigger and bigger. As a matter of fact, this box is literally doubling every 18 months in technology, every 14 to 18 months in medicine, meaning that 18 months from now, all of our computers will have computers that are twice as fast, cover twice as much. Things are moving at an exponential rate. We get back to the ultimate contradiction again. If that is true, and all of that is designed to solve problems, and problems are what causes frustration in life, then by now all of the frustration should have been removed, but it hasn't been. It's still there. The stagecoach illustration is carried out, observable and repeatable on a daily basis. So here's box number one. Over here on your left is box two. And box number two is what I'm going to refer to as divine revelation, biblical revelation. Biblical revelation explains why box one isn't working. Now, I want to make something real clear. The scriptures do not say that God is opposed to man using his human intellect. As a matter of fact, God has given us dominion over the earth. God wants us to study the earth. He wants us to know about science and medicine and technology. He wants to grow in all that. He has no problem with that. His problem is when we think that is going to be the solution and we leave him out of the equation. That's when the problem enters. That's when God says, I'll give man over to his own way. I'll give man over to his own heart problem. He doesn't want me involved. I'll back off. I'll let him do his thing. And I'll see if he can solve his problem of frustration. Let me read something to you. What I'm getting ready to read was actually a statement made by the Secretary General of the United Nations back in about 1970. U Thant was the Secretary General of the UN from 1961 to 1971. He was not a Christian. This is not coming from any Christian view, but there's a lament, and he is talking to 2,500 distinguished scholars and statesmen from around the world. And here's the question that he asks. Now listen carefully and see if there's a little ring of what I've been saying all this time. What element is lacking so that with all of our skill and our knowledge, we still find ourselves in the dark valley of discord and enmity? What is it that inhibits us from going forward together to enjoy the fruits of human endeavor and to reap the harvest of human experience? Why is it that for all of our professed ideals, our hopes, our skills, peace on earth is still a distant objective, seen only dimly through the storms and turmoils of our present difficulties? Wow. You know what he's saying? U Thant is saying, I'm experiencing the ultimate contradiction. Did you notice that God is left completely out of the equation? He isn't saying, why isn't God fixing this thing? He's saying, with all of our professed skills, all of our knowledge, our human technology, why can't we fix it? Why can't we make this thing work? It's a sad lament. It's a sad commentary on human nature. But he himself is admitting it. He's not saying there's been this wonderful, marvelous progression. We're moving in this direction to eradicate our frustrations of human turmoil and difficulty. God's not in the picture. And so box 1 continues to get bigger. It'll be bigger tomorrow. It'll be much bigger tomorrow. Box 2 never changes in size. Same number of pages, same consistent wisdom, same statements. It says the problem is not the education. The problem isn't the intellect. The problem is removing God from the equation and not seeing our condition before Him the way He describes it. We'll talk about that in the next session.